shit out of a 4-inch plumbing pipe, and I'm not kidding. There's pictures of him on the internet of him smoking animal feces out of this pipe. He also likes to smoke cigarettes, and 5 of them at a time. Not 5 of them one after another. He holds 5 cigarettes, lights all of them, and smokes 5 at a time.
That's insane. I've done 3 cigarettes at a time, but this guy...
How do you think he cuts his hair?
I'm going to say with a sharp rock.
Whenever he feels he needs his hair cut, he burns it off with fire.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's probably... He's got a clean spot there from the fire, It's
hey, we need to see if we could get this guy in studio, bro.
His way of eating, like I said, he gets offended when people bring him normal food and such. His favorite food is dead porcupines.
Wow.
He scavenges
That's his only food.
He scavenges for dead meat, period, but his favorite delicacy is porcupine.
So, this is what happens in Iran. People don't shower for 60 years.
That's possible. I mean, I don't know.
We're going to have to probably go back to this, huh?
Yeah, let's go back to that. Hey, let's welcome our friend Paul Miller to the show.
Paul
Mr.
Miller.
Paul Miller, how you doing, my friend?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for calling, dude. We're all excited to talk to you tonight.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be talking to you.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, we're just a bunch of clowns in here, really. So hopefully nobody
Cool.
will piss you off like Mr. Camden over here. I think that's his motive tonight is to make people angry. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna apologize.
I'm pretty laid back, so good luck.
Yeah, right. Good. Yeah, I'll apologize in advance for any negativity. No, but seriously though, it's an honor to talk to you, man. I know you've been a busy guy. You were just down here in Florida not too long ago. Is that right?
Yeah, it was actually maybe 2-3 weeks ago, something like that.
That was a vacation?
Yeah, it was a family vacation.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What part of Florida?
We were in Orlando, doing the typical touristy stuff.
Yeah.
Disney World and all that.
What'd you think of it? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, we go like every other year, probably for the past 15 years. So we really love it down in Florida, and I'm 45 years old, but I admittedly am a huge Disney freak. So
yeah, that's cool.
So where are you from?
yeah.
He's from Chicago, Jabber.
Originally, I was born in Elmhurst, Illinois, at Elmhurst Memorial Hospital. And then from there, given that I was born with spina bifida, they had transferred me to Children's Memorial Hospital in Chicago because unfortunately they really at that time didn't know what to do with me. And thank God, actually I believe it was my mother that found Children's Memorial Hospital 2 months after I was born. They just kind of said, sent me home with her and said, good luck, and they had given her the option that that she could either put me up for adoption or basically just leave me to die. Wow. It's like, oh, that's charming.
Yeah,
but
wow.
Thank God she didn't give up on me, and she found what I needed medically, and here I am, say 45 years later.
That's great, man. That's great. Here, hold on just a second, Paul. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and plug this phone back into the system here. Hold on. If it hangs up, I'll call you back. Hopefully it won't. There we go. All right. Let's see what happens here. Can you hear us, Paul?
Yeah, actually, I can hear you a little bit better now.
Oh, perfect. Cool. We hear you loud and clear now too. Excellent. We've been playing with this damn phone system for going on a year now, trying to get it right, and it's a pain in the ass. I'll tell you what. But anyway, cool. That's kind of a heart-wrenching story to start off with there. I'm glad your mom took care of it as well. Dude, I noticed that, and I'm very thankful. You're one of our very first listeners and followers on Twitter and on our social media. And, I kind of paid attention. I'm like, who is this guy? And found out that you're kind of from where I'm from. I grew up in Schaumburg and Elk Grove Village and that neck of the woods. Right. And, so we have a little bit in common as far as that goes.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, I wanted you to have the opportunity to plug some of the different foundations and things that you're supporting, that are supporting you. But before we do that, I have a couple of personal questions I'd like to ask you, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. Ask me anything you'd like.
Cool. I notice you have a bitchin' Camaro.
Actually, it's a Dodge Challenger.
Is it a Challenger? I thought it was a Camaro.
No, I had it. You know, that's weird that you say that. I did have a Camaro at one point, but now I have a Dodge Challenger.
Very cool. Now, what do you like better? Well, first, what year was that Camaro?
The Camaro, it was an 80-something, I believe. I couldn't honestly tell you, but yeah, I believe it was an 80-something.
Right.
And the Challenger is last year's model.
Okay, so I know people are on the fence with that. Some of the older cars are really badass. I know the 80s Camaros were kind of not quite as cool as the 70s and 60s models, and then they get into the more recent years and they really picked it back up. But which one do you like better? Do you like the new technology or the old technology?
Honestly, I'm torn. I love nostalgia. Honestly, in ways I wish I had been born in the 50s, because I love the old the clothing, the old style, the clothing. The old cars, of course, were gorgeous with all the chrome and everything, and they not only to mention they were gigantic. All steel. I love the music from back then. I'm a huge Elvis Presley fan.
There you go. Yeah. I can agree with that. My favorite car is a 54 Chevrolet, man. Hey, Pops is with us tonight here, and you probably know Pops. He's an 82-year-old Korean War vet, and he's motioning for me to move the phone over to him. Hold on a second here.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, you're talking about the 50s.
Yeah.
And Elmhurst Memorial Hospital.
Uh-huh.
Back in 1952, I was playing my first year of semi-pro football with the Racine Raiders, and our game was in Elmhurst. And
really?
Back in 1951. And on the way to the stadium, we passed the hospital, and then the stadium. Is the stadium still near the hospital?
Right. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't believe so.
Okay, well, anyhow, you could walk from one place to the other, really. But anyhow, one of the kids that had played the year before with us in high school, and he had played with the Raiders, and he said they always have the hospital close to the stadium in the semi-pro ball. But anyhow, I busted through the line and tackled a 240-pound fullback that had played with the Bears, and I ended up getting stitches in Elmhurst Hospital, where you were born, evidently.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Small world.
So, talk to us a little bit about spina bifida, because, a lot of it, I did a little bit of research, months ago, but the last couple of days I did as well to try and just kind of educate myself a little bit so I didn't sound like a complete moron talking to you. But can you give us a little bit of an overview of what it's all about and how it's really affected you?
Yeah, of course. Definitely, I'd rather speak just on my experiences alone, because obviously I don't want to speak for everybody. Mm-hmm. Because with spina bifida, there are different degrees of spina bifida, and I have what's called meningeal myelocele, and it's one of the strains of spina bifida, and I believe it's the most severe. Although I got lucky because I'm kind of middle of the road. I'm a paraplegic, but it can affect your arms. It can affect your legs. It can also affect your mental capability in ways. And as a matter of fact, when I was born, I also had what's called hydrocephalus, water in the brain. Mm-hmm. And what they had to do was insert what is called a shunt surgically, and it goes from the brain. And at that time, it went from the brain into the gallbladder, and the excess brain fluid would drain into the gallbladder, and the gallbladder would, absorb it. Apparently,
Right.
nowadays I hear that they do still do shunts if a baby is born with hydrocephalus, but that they're different as to where they drain now. I believe they drain into the abdomen, but don't quote me on that. But I believe that's how they work now.
Okay, understood.
Also, with myself, I've always been a very active child, even with my disability. I just never let it slow me down. I mean, even now, in my 40s, I've slowed down some, but I'm completely independent. I do everything for myself.
Cool.
And I've been employed before, and unfortunately, I'm unemployed at the present time due to right now I have a decubitus ulcer, pressure sore, so I'm waiting for that to heal. But then as soon as that's healed, I plan on getting back out there.
Yeah. Well,
And with my experience too, I believe I've been lucky in ways with people, just mainly family, with supporting me in everything that I wanted to do. They were always, try whatever you want to try. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But just as long as you go out there and try, that's what matters.
absolutely.
So that's what I did.
Yeah, good for you, man. And that speaks volumes, especially at 45 years old, having to deal with it since you were a baby. Everybody's got a friend or a family member that's got some sort of that knows some story, or has a friend or a family member that's close to them that has some sort of an issue. Spina bifida is a big thing, and I can't even begin to compare it. I have a niece, my goddaughter, who's got Asperger's, and at 15 years old, when it took her till she was 5 years old before she could even walk. She didn't even speak until she was about 5 years old. And now at 15, we're teaching her how to drive a car, and she's playing tennis and things like that. So you're right. My sister, her mother, was the same way. They figured out the right medicine for her. They figured out the right diet for her. And then after she started to become a little bit more natural at things and a little more open, she started trying different things, and she's in the Special Olympics now and doing sports. And it's important to have that kind of a opportunity when you have a disability. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, is to kind of enlighten people about spina bifida, because we talk about autism, we talk about Asperger's because that's close to me, but there's so many other things out there. So I figured this would be a good opportunity for you to kind of plug the things that you're supporting, and what can people do? Where can people go? How can people help?
Well, the best way people can help right now, if you go to either the Spina Bifida Association, whom I'm advocating for right now, and trying to just get the word out about Spina Bifida and our needs right now. The biggest need, at least in my case, is, for whatever reason, there is a lack of research that had been done with adults with spina bifida, and I have found it extremely difficult to find appropriate medical care at this point in my life, because it's just not there. For whatever reason, they did all this research for children, which is great, that's outstanding, and now children that have spina bifida, that are born with spina bifida, they can do things surgically to them while they're still in the womb, and the spina bifida isn't as severe.
That's good. Yeah.
Once they're born, but with adults, there's just not a lot. Not a lot of help out there. It's hard to find medical care, appropriate medical care, And so I'm trying to advocate for that to get people to realize